Remember, I have a class today planned that's swimming, so don't analyze my swim strokes too much, okay? I remember that was you last time, right? That's the swimmer. Yeah, okay. Okay, actually, we're going to use a band today for most of class. So let me just make sure my timer is queued up and ready. Not that I need it yet, but the only equipment we need for class is the physio band today. So you're welcome to find one of those. If you don't have one, something that's
Only
based.
physio bands.
What's that?
Sorry, I'm letting Penn know he only needs physio bands. He'll be here in a
Oh,
minute.
great. Thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, just a physio band and make sure you have some water handy. So those two things are all you will need. We have some intervals planned for today, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But for now, just take a comfortable seat and we'll start with a focus on breathing as we usually do to begin class. So you're welcome to close your eyes just for a moment and just focus on your breathing. Let's do a bit of a body scan while we're here. So you're welcome to just kind of take note of anything that maybe will adjust how your exercise session with me goes today. So if you have any joints that are especially sore or tired that you need to make note of and maybe adjust some exercises or energy levels, whether they're a bit low today, or, just checking in generally with how you're feeling. Are you well hydrated? All that good stuff as you start to take some nice easy breaths in and out, where every breath in draws the crown of your head just a little bit closer to the ceiling, and every breath out maintains that length, but is a nice easy exhale. So nice and even breath in and breath out. Good. We'll do two more like that. And the last one. Excellent. From here, you're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them as we start to warm up through our neck with a drop of our ear towards one shoulder, back to center and over to the other side. So focusing on that movement being head towards the shoulder as opposed to full body tilt. We'll do a little bit of side flexion in a bit. Good. Last one each way here. And then coming back through center, dropping your chin towards your chest, bringing your head through center, and then looking slightly up towards the ceiling, diagonally in front of you. Back through center again, a few times like that. Just a nice slow nod of the head. And we'll do one more like that. Great. Come on back through center. Have your eyes open now as we start to do a little bit of rotation. You're welcome to come slightly forward on your chair if that's available to you, or stay back on your chair as needed. Both hands come to one side of your lap, easing into a little bit of gentle rotation and back through center. So I do have a few exercises during our cardio section where some rotation will be an option. So just making sure those rotational muscles are nice and warm. Our last few, maybe you'll pause and look back over your shoulder. So do a shoulder check, hang out for a breath, and come back through center. Let's do that one more time. Good, and back through center. Getting ready to do the same thing on the other side. Both hands helping to guide that rotation. And the last few times, slow it down, maybe pause as you look over your shoulder, reset back to center. We'll do one more here. Great. All right, hands can be on your lap for front support as we start to forward hinge. Depending on your level of core control, it will be a forward hinge coming away from your chair back, Or if it is best for you to stay at your chair back and just think about lengthening through your spine, you're welcome to do that. So forward hinge or slight chair press back. If you are doing that chair press back, sitting up tall, make sure that your wheels are locked and that you're somewhere safe that you will not tip. Good. Last one here. All right, we're going to add a tiny bit of rotation to this one too. I don't always do this when we do our forward hinge, and it's completely optional for you. So if you would like to stay with just the forward hinge, that's fine. If you would like to add a little rotation, we're taking one hand off of our lap and kind of sweeping it forward as we rotate and hinge. So we'll stay on that same side and just do 3 more. Again, just a regular forward hinge is absolutely fine here. So if this rotational move is not feeling right for you today, that is fine. We'll do 1 more on this side. Good. And then we'll do the same thing on the other. Shoulders are low, optional reach and rotate for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. From here, just reset so you're up nice and tall, evenly weighted on both hip bones, and we are ready to press for the ceiling. You are welcome to do this single arm or dual arm, knowing that we warm up that bit faster when we're doing a dual arm move. So do kind of plan accordingly, especially for our overhead moves that are just that little bit more workload for our heart. Good. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. From there, resetting those shoulders. We're going to press to the outsides instead. So you can think about setting your palms to face more or less off to the side as you're pushing open a curtain. Good. We'll do 2 more like that. And 1. All right. And then we're going to do a few presses back behind as well. Let's do them first as a tricep press back, meaning that arms are bending at the elbow, straightening at the elbow. And then let's do a few that are a long arm press back. So now my elbow is staying straight. A little bit of a hinge is an option for you here, or stay upright, supported at your chair back. Good. Last 2. And 1. All right. One of the last things I have for you for warm up today, we are going to do a side flex with an optional overhead reach. So one hand can be on your chair for support. The other one is ready to come overhead. You're welcome to do this one on its own or with that side flexion right away. So side flex towards your reaching side, maybe a really active reach and then pull down to like you're grabbing something and pulling it down to your side. Looks good. We'll do 2 more here. And 1. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So supporting with that free hand on the arm of your chair or the base of your chair as needed. Good. 2 more here. And 1. I'm going to sneak another very similar exercise in here to finish off our warm up today. So we're going to do a crossbody reach now with an option of rotation here as well. So let's stay on one side, rotate and reach, or stay with your shoulders facing squarely forward and just add the crossbody reach. Okay, we'll do 3 more here. 2. And 1. Excellent. And then same thing on the other side, crossbody reach with optional rotation. Good. We'll do 3 more here. 2, and 1. Okay, we are getting ready to introduce our 4 cardio moves for today. We're going to do them in 45-second intervals, but I'm not starting my timer yet. I'll just introduce each of the moves first, and then we'll launch in with our first interval rotation. So you got to use your imagination on these swimming moves just a little bit today, okay? Our first is the front crawl. So give me a big scooping forward arm with a few different options that I think I'll probably just introduce as we move through the intervals. But for now, let's make this a core exercise in that I'm keeping nice and square. Now, of course, if you pick up the pace, maybe coming slightly forward of your chair, that is absolutely fine. So that'll be our first move. Good. Take a rest from that. Reset. Our second one is going to be, let's call it breaststroke. So we're going to be a forward press and then a scoop around. And I know this is the one that we were talking about before, right? Forward press, scoop around. What would you like to call it, Myrna? What should I call it? How about a dive? I don't know. Yes. Oh, should I put my hands forward? Is that what it is mostly? Oh, hands forward. Palms up. We have swim instructors happening here. Good. So your interpretation or mine of breaststroke. And then our third one is our backstroke. So big rear circles, arm circles. Clearly, I've been doing the breaststroke wrong all this time because I don't do that in the pool either. Good. Last 2 and 1. Okay. And then our next one, I'm going to call the elementary stroke. And I know they took this one out of swimming at some point, but we're going to go up and then push down. So coming up, I know, and down. Call it as you will. Imagine that you're swimming to the surface. How's that? Surface swim. She can't do it. It just feels wrong, does it? Last one. Good. Okay. Okay, so that is our 4 moves. You are welcome to interpret them as you will. I am going to get ready with my timer. So we're going to go through those 4 things for 45 seconds each, and then we're going to have a rest. So if you need a drink of water before we begin, go right ahead. I'm already feeling warm. Okay. So here we go. I am setting my timer for the first 45 seconds, and we're doing our front crawl interpretation. Good, nice strong core here. So if you do find yourself slightly forward of your chair back, just check in with your posture a bit. So still nice and long through your spine, right up to the top of your head. Good, we have 10 more seconds here. Setting your own pace, so don't feel like you need to be moving at the same pace as I am, whatever feels right for you today. Last one there. Great, we're going for the forward breaststroke. Yes, breaststroke. Again, you can be slightly forward of your chair if that feels good, or if you need to be with full back support. Lots of core stability work going on here as we move our arms in these big movements. Great, we have 10 more seconds on this one. All right, here we go. Next one is our back stroke or rear shoulder rotation, whatever you would like to call it. Good, and if shoulders are facing forward, we are still getting that good core control here. You're welcome to do a little bit of rotation. I'll introduce that in the next set. So That is just fine. All right, we have 10 seconds left on this one. And then one more exercise before we have our first little rest break. 3, 2, and 1. So you can imagine this one, you're swimming for the surface. So reaching up, pulling down. Great, keep going. These overhead moves really get the blood pumping. If you're feeling like this is a little bit too much work for you at the moment, you're welcome to go to a single arm move for any of these. So that's definitely an option. Good, we got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, take a rest. Good, maybe you need to shake out your shoulders. Maybe you need to grab a drink of water. Give yourself a bit of a hug and release through the shoulders. Great. When we start our next round of this, I'll give you a couple of adjustments that you can make if you so wish. You're welcome to stay with things as they are and certainly pace yourself. So as I was saying, if you want to go to, one arm moving at a time, which I guess we were doing for that one, but even for our upward stroke, if you would rather go for one arm at a time for a little less workload, you're welcome to do that. So here we go. We are back to our front crawl. Right, so forward motions of the arms. If you would like to hinge and slightly rotate, you're welcome to do that, knowing that you need to be in control of the rotation. So make sure that it's a really strong and controlled move. A little bit easier to go faster if shoulders are facing forward in this particular case. Great, here we go, changing it up to our interpretation of the breaststroke. And we are having the option of a big forward hinge, if that feels good for you. So adding some more trunk control as we pull forward with a bigger hinge. You're welcome, of course, to stay tall with your back at the chair back. Good, we have 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. We are doing our backstroke next. So with some rotation, again, as option. We are upright for this one as we are rotating, so we have a little bit more control. But again, rotation with speed is always a bit harder to maintain the control. So do be aware of what feels best for you here. We're almost through our second set. We have one more exercise coming up after this one, and we have 10 more seconds of this backstroke. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Our next one was swim for the surface. So an upward reach and a pull down. Good. We are almost done this one. We have 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Take a 45-second rest. Maybe you drop your ear to one shoulder, just moving through some range and releasing through the neck muscles side to side. Maybe back at center, you'll take your chin down to your chest and slowly shake your head back and forth. And then grab a drink if you need one as well. Good. My plan is to do this set of 4 exercises 2 more times through. Ooh. So we have the timer starting again in 5 seconds. Here we go. Starting with the front crawl. Great. Oh, front crawl. Sorry, front crawl. The brain and the arms, we're doing 2 different things. All right. So that option of more forward hinge with rotation, if you can maintain the control through your core as you're doing that, or stay upright, shoulders facing forward. Great, we have 10 more seconds here. 2 and 1. All right, our interpretive breaststroke with an option of a big forward hinge. So really pressing forward before you pull those arms around and come up tall. Great, keep going here. Pacing yourself. If you feel like energy levels are starting to drop a bit, slow down your moves. That's totally fine. 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go to our backstroke, rear arm rotation. Option of a little bit of extra rotation, of course, through the torso as we complete this move. Great, keep going. We have 10 more seconds to go. Excellent. And then let's swim for the surface for our last one. So pressing up, pulling down. Good. And you can think of this as a bit of a postural exercise too, because we're stretched up nice and tall through our spine as we begin this and maintaining that length throughout. We have 10 more seconds to go. And then we are done this round. Good. We got 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Take a rest. One more round to go. Now, when I do the 4th round, typically of our intervals, I usually give you a few different choices. And I'll do that today, although this doesn't lend itself as nicely as some of my other intervals do. But if you want to slow it down and really think about what muscles are driving the move, if you've had enough of the heart rate raising cardio aspect, and you want to make this more kind of thoughtful and muscle based for your final round, you're welcome to do that. And I'll try and give you a few cues as we do that too. So if you're in for the cardio, keep going at really active pace. And if you would like to slow it down, you are welcome to do that. I'll be doing this one mostly slower. So let's go front crawl. So of course our shoulder muscles are working here, a little bit of chest, especially if we had the resistance of the water, right? To press and pull that arm back to its start position. And then if we are also rotating into this, we're using our obliques as the main core muscles to drive this side to side movement. Good. We got 5 more seconds here. Okay, for our interpretive breaststroke, we are using some lat and rhomboids between your shoulder blades muscles to help with that pulling motion. A little bit more rhomboid, I would say, than lat, but depending on the direction of your movement, definitely all those muscles that support around the shoulder blade are helping to pull those arms to their start position, as well as, of course, our shoulder muscles here too, and our core muscles as we hinge. So lots going on. Good. All right. Our next is our backstroke. Rear shoulder muscles are all the muscles around our shoulder blade, including our rhomboids in this position as well. And then if you are rotating, not only core muscles, but some back extensor muscles also working here. Great, we have 10 more seconds on this exercise, and then only 1 more before we are done this segment. Last one each way. Excellent, let's swim for the surface. So a reach up, lat pull down really on our way down. So our side back muscles squeezing and pulling those arms down, as well as our shoulder muscles. Good. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. I'm stopping my timer for now. You are welcome to grab a drink, shake it out a bit. Maybe you give yourself a hug a few times, different directions, just to release through some of those tension muscles. Pause there, drop your chin towards your chest again, side to side movement. Looking back through center and unwinding. Great. Okay, I'm gonna grab a drink of water too, and I'm grabbing my band. We're getting ready to do a bit of resistance work. And I'm gonna actually use my timer for this today as well, which I guess I forgot to stop. It's still going. Okay. So I won't start it quite yet, but I thought this way we don't have to count and we could move through a few different exercises kind of very smoothly. So I'll introduce them all first, and then we will work through them together with the timer going. And don't feel like the timer's, rushing the exercise. If you only get 5 or so done in the time that before we transition, that is absolutely fine. So our first exercise is a high diagonal lift. So I want this to be mainly rear shoulders and mid back, so around the shoulder blade. One hand is resting on your knee with the bulk of the band. You will need a fair amount of band between your 2 hands just because this is a pretty big move. Shoulder is set and elbow is slightly bent to pull up towards the ceiling on a slight diagonal and return back to center. So that will be our first exercise, okay? We'll of course do it on one side, and then we'll do it on the other. For now, for just this demo sake, you can just stay on one side. Okay, our second exercise won't change a whole lot of our setup. So we're gonna take the band that was resting on your knee and ideally take it now up to about chest level. And we're going to make this a wide row off to the side. So you're pulling wide with a bent elbow. So if you can see that from the side, it's pulling at a height that is still lower than my shoulder because I don't want to have to squeeze to pull, right? My shoulder up to my ear. So a wide row, okay? And then we'll flip and do those two things on the other side for the other two exercises of this set. So hopefully that makes sense. We are gonna get started right now. I am starting my timer. One hand is on the knee, the other hand is getting ready to reach up and return down. I don't mind which side you start with. Just make sure when we make the switch that that you do get both sides working. Oops, sorry. Trying to do two things at once here. I just kicked my phone where I can't see the timer. There we go. Good, we have 10 more seconds here. You can slow it down if you need to, or do the motion without the band for the last few. That's fine too. 3, 2, and 1. Good, we're gonna stay on this same side. So whatever side was moving is going to move again as you take that band up to about chest level and pull your elbow back on the moving arm. So you might find you need a little bit less band in between your two hands for this move. And just so you know, we are not going to do 4 rounds of these same exercises. We'll do 2. If having this support arm up high is not really an option for you, it could be at your knee as well. So if you find that that's just too much workload for that support side, you're welcome to take that to your knee. 3, 2, and 1. You are done this one. So we're switching the exercises to the other side now. Shoulders set, coming up with a long upward reach. Engaging through our rear shoulder muscles and setting that shoulder blade strongly in place. So this is a big, powerful move, reaching up overhead. Good, we're coming up on 10 seconds left here. So again, lots of options to slow it down or not use the band if that muscle is starting to fatigue. 3, 2, and 1. Good, setting up for our second one on this side, which is the row. So one arm extended forward for support or at your knee if that feels better as you row back. Elbow pulls back. Great, and just like we did with the cardio portion, we are gonna have a rest after we finish this one here. We have 10 more seconds. 2 and 1, great. Have a rest, shake out your shoulders, maybe shake out your hands. Grab a drink of water. For the second set, we will be doing the same exercises. I'll give you an option of a tiny bit of an extra rotation or extra move to add a little bit more workload to the exercise, always an option. So if you find that this exercise as it is more than enough for you, then stay there. And again, if those shoulders are starting to fatigue and you want to go the movement without the band, you're welcome to do that. We have 5 more seconds and we are getting ready to start, so you can get yourself set up. Shoulder set. So we're going for that overhead lift with an option of rotation and a gaze towards that hand as it comes up to its highest point. Good, strong core muscles as we're doing this one. So it's a protected rotation. Good, we'll have time for one more before that timer goes off. Excellent. All right, setting up for our second one. Hand can remain on your lap or out front for this one. Now we are rotating still to that same side, and maybe we're looking kind of over our elbow to the back. Or stay facing forward. So if the rotation is not feeling right for you today, keep it as we did in our first set and face forward, shoulders forward. Shoulder blade pulls to center each time that elbow pulls back. Good, we have 5 more seconds, might get one more in here. Excellent, and we are switching to the other side for both exercises. Great, so that reach up and over is our first one with the option of slight rotation and an upward gaze. Shoulder stays low, especially as those arms are getting or muscles are getting a little more tired. Remind yourself, keep that shoulder set. Maybe your reach up is not quite as large as it was on our first set. That's okay. Good, we have 5 more seconds left. So let's get another 1 or 2 in. And we are done that one. Excellent. One more left. Shoulders set. One hand is extended or at your knee. The other one, elbow pulls back with the option of rotation and a gaze past your elbow to the rear. Okay, we have 10 more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Excellent. We are done with the band for today, actually, so you can set that down. I'm going to stop my timer. Good. Class is going by fast. It's almost time to stretch already. Okay, let's do a bit more core. We've been doing, of course, core exercises throughout with a lot of the different moves that we've been incorporating, but we'll focus on it a little more specifically now. So I have a couple of different options for you for this one. It will depend on your level of core control. So option 1, if you need to stay back in your chair with full back support, it'll be a little bit like we did in warm up, but a bit of a more focused approach to utilizing our core muscles. So you'll be belly button slightly towards backbone as your back pushes into the chair and then just releases its pressure on the chair. So this one, make sure if you are doing it that your chair is somewhere safe, that it's not going to tip and that the wheels are locked here. So that is option 1. Option 2, if you're able to come forward of your chair back, and it doesn't need to be very far, is to do some chair sit backs. So from here, we're going to sit with a long spine towards the chair back, no need to touch, and engage through your rectal abdominals, your front core muscles to pull yourself forward. We're using some hip flexor here too. And really just to a forward, nice tall position. So you don't need to hinge any farther forward. If you don't feel like you need your hands on your lap or on the sides of your chair, you might also have your hands out front. So 2 different variations of the exercise, depending if you can be away from your chair back or not. We're just gonna do 2 more of those for now, and then we'll reset. Last one. Great. Come for a little rest, and actually let's switch it up and do another exercise, and then we'll return to the chair sit backs in a moment. So if you're forward of your chair and you want to stay that way, it should be fine for most for the next exercise as well. So we're doing our side flex. Sometimes we have a weight in hand as we do this, but it's not necessary for today. So one hand is going to be either on your lap or on the chair for some support. The other one reaching actively down towards the ground as you flex towards that reaching side and use your oblique muscles, side core to pull you back up. So we're not going to do too many of these. Let's actually just do 3 more. 3. And let's slow it down a bit. Last 2, slowly squeeze and pull up. And last 1, slowly pull up. Great. Let's do the same on the other side. Hips are nice and even, evenly weighted, even as we side flex and pull back up. So trying to maintain that even weighting as much as possible. One hip is not lifting up off of the seat. Good. Let's do 3 more. Slow them down a bit. Great. Last 1. Okay. And we are going to finish off our core exercises with 6 of your variation of choice. So either our chair sit backs, if you're able to come away from the chair back, or the chair press back with a belly button pull in towards your backbone. So pressing back and returning. Good. So 6 times your exercise of choice here. Great. Last one. When you have done 6, we are ready to stretch. So let's start, just because this is a natural progression into our forward hinge as a bit of a resting stretch. So if you are forward of your chair back already, hands can be on your lap and you can forward hinge. If you are on your, or like at your chair back, and will stay there for this stretch, you're now thinking about taking the crown of your head closer to the ceiling. So you're welcome to be up tall here or forward hinge, just finding some release through low back and hips as we are here. Okay, come back up tall. We'll take both hands to one side of your lap as we did to begin class, but now that we've done a fair amount of rotation throughout class, we're going to stay in a small rotation for a few breaths. So you're rotating just to a comfortable end point and then hanging out here for a few easy breaths in and out. And then you'll come back through center. And do the same on the other side. Hands are on your lap to guide you. A gentle rotation. If you're comfortable in this spot, hang out here for a few easy breaths. Excellent. And then come on back through center again. All right, let's take one arm and bring it cross-body to give yourself a pat on the shoulder, hugging that arm in to get a little more stretch and release through rear shoulder, and maybe even letting that shoulder blade on that stretching side come away from its center point to get just a little more stretch. And we'll drop our ear towards that hand that's currently resting on our shoulder, getting a little bit of neck release as well. Good. Ease your head back to its neutral position. Ease your way about halfway out of that stretch, and then reach with your palm up to straight elbow instead of a bent elbow. We'll bring it across again. And then we're going to turn our palm and face it down. And then maybe you'll bring it a slight bit further across. Good. From here, we're going to look down towards our hip on that side where your hand is currently extended. And hang out here for a few breaths. Head comes back to a neutral position. That arm can unwind, and let's take 3 slow shoulder circles to the back on that stretching side. Great, and let's do that same set of stretches on the other side. So come across to pat yourself on the shoulder, pull that elbow a little bit farther across. Nice tall spine here, and then we'll drop that ear towards your shoulder. The head can come back to center. Arm can unwind about halfway out of that stretch. Palm faces up to start as you pull that arm across with an extended elbow. And then you can flip your palm and face it down, looking down towards your hip on that same side. Good. Bring your gaze back through center. Unwind that arm. 3 slow shoulder circles on this side. Good. And then one of our last stretches today will be my favorite chest and front shoulder stretch. So that's the one where we have our hands either on our hips or slid into our imaginary back pockets with the back of your hand touching your rear. Good. From here, elbows pull back. Chest puffs up just a bit, but we're not changing the natural curve of our low back here. And maybe your gaze will be slightly up as you take some nice big breaths in and out. Good. You can ease your way out of that stretch. We're going to do it one more time. So if you are able to come slightly forward of your chair, you are welcome to do that. If you are back on your chair, that is absolutely fine. We're going to put some gentle pressure, our hands pressing into our hips as those elbows pull back now. Stay up nice and tall without any upward motion to start with on this one, and just see how it feels from a chest and front shoulder perspective. And then you're welcome to kind of open up through your chest and again, look slightly up, giving yourself lots of space for nice, even breaths in and out. Good. You can unwind yourself from that stretch. If you were away from your chair back, you'll slide back there again for support. And we'll finish off with eyes closed just for a few moments of breathing. So you're welcome to close your eyes now. Of course, that's just an option if you're more comfortable keeping your eyes open here. And we started class with a body scan. We'll do that again now. So focusing on nice even breaths in and out, and then just seeing how you're feeling after class today. So if there's any joints or muscles that you're feeling a little more than you did at the beginning of class, whether that's for the good or hopefully not for the bad. If you need to make any notes of how to move in future in these classes, just so you're comfortable in how you feel. And then maybe taking a check on energy levels. If you paced yourself in a way that was right for you today, or if you need to make an adjustment for next time. And then just focus on breathing again. We'll take a nice even breath in and out, just a few more times with eyes closed here. Good, and then you can take your eyes to open. I will be here for a few minutes after class again if you want to chat. We are finishing things off as we usually do, starting down low and reaching for the ceiling 3 times. Big breath in and release. Good, 2 more. Last one here. Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I just wanted to say hi. Sorry, I just wanted to say hi to Myrna. Is that your name?
That is my name.
Nice to see someone else with their camera on. Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome.
It's called underwater swimming when your arms go way out, and you're not wrong with it. Breaststroke is rhomboids, and they thought about it and said, hey, this doesn't work the rhomboids. This is lats. So let's bend the elbows and pull them back and shoot our arms through. Bend the elbows and pull them back. So you become a faster swimmer with the breaststroke.
Okay, I will have to try that.
And if you don't want to do arm circles, you can say these are windmills.
Oh, yes. Yes. There you go.
Because the backstroke, again, is a wave to the queen, pinky back, reach for the water behind you, and then your arm pushes the water this way. So it's not a circle, because the circle is not progressive. It's not, I teach speed swimming. Sorry.
Got
It's
you.
all about, like, racing swimming, like proper swimming, not, and I teach children the same way, because why learn wrong?
Yes, exactly. No, how ironic that you were at class today, though, because I don't think I've taught this class with the swimming intervals since the last time I saw you and we did it. So.
Oh my goodness. And I went to a class where they were using like boating, and I teach boating, and she was trying to paddle with the oar. I'm like, oh no. And my brain has to forget what I know so I can do whatever she right.
Yeah.
And I put my weights down, and my dog picked them up and walked away. So I'm kind of glad we didn't do the weights.
I hope they're not the chewable kind.
He is. He's a chewable one. Thank you.
Thank you. It was nice to see you today. See you again.
Okay, I'll see you next week. Or
Okay,
next week there is no class next week, so yeah.
Is there no class next week?
31st, it doesn't show on my site.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's fine.
No class on Halloween. So.
Oh, am I busy trick-or-treating? Is somebody giving me candy? What's happening?
Yeah, you can ask them.
Oh, I'll have to check my calendar. Okay, that's no problem.
Okay.